Hey guys, it's Mary with Stamps-N-Lingers, and it is Saturday evening at 7, which means it's time for another Facebook video. Let me go ahead and just do a quick refresh over here off to the side to be sure that I am transmitilating over the airwaves. Aha, yes I am. Okay, good deal. All right, so I'm gonna make this bigger so I can see when y'all say hello. Hi, Mary from California. How are you doing? Appreciate you joining tonight. Now you can see my darn computer, sorry. Oh well. Hey, just so you know, I'm proud of it. I have a computer off to the side. Okay, hi Alicia, hi Rosie. Appreciate you joining. We'll give everybody a minute to get in and check in. Hi Amy, hi Brooke. I certainly do appreciate you spending part of your weekend with me. Hi Pam, Andrea. All right, so this is the card. Hey Faith, appreciate you. And Christine, I'm glad you caught me live too. Hi Barbara from Port Richey, Florida. I bet it's toasty down there. It's a beautiful day here. My goodness. I'm almost shedded. I almost shucked off my long sleeve shirt, but then I was afraid I'd be cold. You know, it's that time of year when you're either too hot or too cold, and there's like a 1 degree difference. And that time of year for me is pretty much 365 days out of the year these days. Hey guys. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started. This is the card that I gave you the sneak peek of this morning. If you look closely, maybe you can see it. Let me stand up so I can see what you're seeing. There we go. You can see this background here. That is a die cut that I have adhered to a same color sheet of cardstock. And so that is what we're going to make today. It uses the Queen Anne's Lace stamp set. Now this is from the annual catalog. It's kind of a flyover. People kind of miss it, I think, but I do love this simple floral. That's all it is a 1-step, 2-step, and then really a very nice sentiment. I know you have the strength to get through this, and I'll be right by your side. So if you have anybody who's going through a tough time, this is a great stamp set, but it's also good for just saying, hey, how's it going? Thanks, or celebrating times with you. So great little set in the annual catalog. I've also used the Potted Succulents dies, and this is bundled with the Simply Succulent stamp set. This is in the January to June mini catalog. And just so you know, this is the basis for the March online tutorial. So everyone who orders 50 or better in March will get a tutorial with, I think it's 5 or 6 really cool projects that the ladies on our team have put together for you. So let's go. Oh, and of course I use these little tiny dragonfly. It's like my favorite thing ever, this little tiny dragonfly. Okay, let me put this aside. You'll be glad to know I've done a little bit ahead of time. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my card front. I don't know if you were able to see this. Uh-oh, Donna. Oh, I hope you feel okay. Go rest, relax, chill, and I'm so glad you've got that vaccine, but do go rest. All right, can you see it? Do you see the little polka dots right here on the back? That's how I've decorated my card front, just so that it doesn't have quite so much open space. That always makes me a little twitchy, not gonna lie. And what I did is I took one of the 4 masks in the Decorative Patterns mask set from the annual catalog, and I just laid it over the top like that. I didn't adhere it or try to stick it down or anything, because this is kind of a, well, it's a pretty lackadaisical kind of operation I got going here, not gonna lie. But I'm just gonna hold it down in the center with that extra piece of whatever that is. Okay, I'm gonna take my blending brush and just tap, 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 and then I'm just going to roll around the edges. Now you can see I've got everything pretty much covered on the cardstock except right around the edges. And I want them, I don't want it all to be the same depth of color. So I'm not getting too het up. I want it to look a little bit, it gives you some depth. If you've got some dots that are light and some that are not light, one could call that darker, then you'll get a little bit of dimension. So that works for me. I like it. It's only really just very, very faint down here and pretty faint up here, but it's just enough to give it a little bit of a, there's something on that card front, okay? Hey, Karen, how are you? All right, so we're gonna put this away. So that is the front of our card base. Now, look at this. This is the die. This is what this die right here in the Potted Succulents when you cut a piece of cardstock, you can see it leaves the die cut in that cardstock, okay? So it doesn't cut out a die cut. It actually cuts a negative space. So I'm going to use that today. And what I did is, before I die cut it, I stuck my piece of Mossy Meadow to an adhesive sheet, okay? Now I have another piece of Mossy Meadow that's actually bigger than I want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel this off the adhesive sheet cover. Hey, Jerry. Hey, Janice. Hi, Pam. Hey, Julie. Didn't see you come on. All right, I'm just going to peel this off like so. And I saw this technique from Brian King, so I cannot take any credit for it, but it's a great plan to use this die cut and to use adhesive sheets, because that makes it ever so much easier. Now, not gonna fib you, it's a little persnickety getting all the pieces out, because it's thick and it's not terribly excited about cutting, but it works and you can make it happen. Okay, so I'm just going to lay that. Remember, my piece is bigger than I need, so I'm laying that die cut right on the top. But what it does is it means there's no ink oozing out no glue oozing out everywhere. And so you're good to go. And then I'm just going to pick it up, and with my trimmer, I am going to trim down to, I wrote it right here, 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. So I want to get everything off. I'm just going to first make a cut here to get started. Okay, and then I'll turn this way and line up at 3 5/8, right like that. And then I'm going to cut one end off and turn it and line it up at 4 7/8, right there. All right. So then I can get rid of all of that. And then I'm going to just push that down because it tried to come up. Did you see that thing try to come up there? That was crazy. Okay, we'll just turn it over, give it a little... These are sticky, just so you know. So I'm going to get them gone, or I'll probably take them to bed with me. All right, there we go. Okay, so that's all there was to that. A little bit of adhesive sheet on the back of the cardstock, and then die cut, and you're done. Alrighty, now I'm going to use some liquid glue and adhere this to a mint macaron mat. I love mint macaron and Mossy Meadow together. Such a pretty combination. Okay, there we go. And that's my card front. Okay, easy peasy, nice and squeezy. Okay, now, how many times have I said okay? Y'all start counting and bang me on it at the end, because I need to stop saying that. That's a verbal pause, and I need to stop saying it. I'm going to take a piece of linen thread, and I'm going to wrap around twice, like so. And then I'm going to cut it and tie a little bow. Just tie a little bow right here. And this is bow tying in public, which is like math in public, only, you know, harder. Okay. Oh, see, I forgot the second loop. What a dork. Yes, I know I said okay a minute ago. I didn't mean it. Don't count and tell me. I'll just be devastated by that. We used to do that to our students, which was mean, I guess. Okay, I'm tying a knot here. Now it'll be easier to make my bow. Whatever you can do to make bows easier, I'm all for. So there's the bow, and I will tidy it up as we get a little closer down the road. So I can just set that aside, and now I'm going to make my focal point / sentiment. I have a little piece of basic white, and I'm going to use the main sentiment, which is, I know you have the strength to get through this, and I'm stamping it in Calypso Coral. For every okay I say, I have to use another dimensional. Got it. That's an easy punishment. I like it. Hang on just a second. I got to get a drink because apparently things are blooming. It is spring. Georgia thinks it's spring today. It won't be spring on Monday, but right now it thinks it's spring. So we worked in the garden today. Actually, what we did is we made 2 trips to the county landfill to get mulch. I'm going to stamp this right about there. They have these giant piles of mulch and you just pull in and they have a big machine and they load up however much you want, which is good. I like it. It's free and stuff. I like free. I'm a big fan of free, especially when you need a bunch of it. I took some pictures, so one of these days Finn's going to give up his time and I'm going to show you our new beds. I know you'll be fascinated. Now, I've got remember I mentioned that the floral image in Queen Anne's Lace is a 2-piece. So I'm going to start with the main image, which is the flower itself. And I'm going to stamp it in Mossy Meadow. And I'm just going to angle it right there. I love a photopolymer set for this because you can really see right where it's going, and it's going exactly where I wanted it. It's like I planned it or something. Fake spring. Exactly. I have no doubt that we're going to get another little cold snap. I anticipate that as soon as I put like my asparagus in the ground, I'll get a snap that will require me to get some tarps or something like that out. Now, the second step of the flowers is the fill, and I'm going to ink it with mint macaron and then stamp it off once. And then I'm going to kind of pull it to me a little bit, guys, so that I can see it, okay? And I'm going to stamp right over the top. In theory, it's going to be right over the top of the initial image. Okay, there we go. I like it. I like it quite a bit. Now, it has its own mint macaron mat. We're just going to call that the 3Ms. If you have a 3M on this card, it's either a Mossy Meadow mat. Oh, no. It's a Mossy Meadow mat or a mint macaron mat. In this case, it's a mint macaron mat. Whew, that could twist your tongue saying all that. Let me take my little damp thing and wipe that little bit of glue off before I come a cropper on it. Yes, it would. And isn't that weird that you mentioned the dragonflies? Because what's on there? Yes, dragonflies. So let me go ahead and pop this on with some dimensionals. The first of my OK Pennants dimensionals. And I'm just going to put some on the top and bottom edges. Like so. And I'm going to make sure I know where the top is. And I'm going to put another one right there, cheated towards the top, just a little bit, so that it is for sure not going to interfere with my linen thread. Don't want that to happen. Alrighty, here we go. Finny got to go to the dump twice today. He didn't get out, but he has informed me that being bored in the truck is better than being bored at home. So he's a happy camper. He likes to ride. He really doesn't care if he gets to get out or not. He just lays back there, and then when we get where we're going, he stares out the window to see if maybe we're at the bank where the bones are. All right, so there's that. Now, here's a little fun for you. I used the dragonfly punch for the little ones, and I made 3 Highland Heather dragonflies. And then I made 3 vellum cardstock dragonflies. And what I am going to do is I'm going to use my fine tip glue pen, and I'm going to adhere my vellum dragonfly to my Highland Heather dragonflies. And I'm going to do it 3 times, being that there's going to be 3 of them on there, because you know how it is. You decorate with odd numbers. That's a thing. It's a real thing. I'm not even making it up. Ask Martha Stewart. All right, so I'm going to do that 3 times. Mango Melody would be good on this. Yep. I used Highland Heather because I was playing with the Fab Friday challenge. And I'm going to tell you, these three colors are very, very easy to incorporate. Adding the Highland Heather, it took me a minute. So I'm helping you out. You can use this color with impunity because it does work. It helps to dampen it a little bit by putting the vellum over the top of it. And I tried all sorts of iterations on it, and this is the one that I liked the best. The best. Because it is so cute. Okay, so get lined up there now. There we go. That's close enough. Let that dry a second while I try to thread this back in. I appreciate the fine tipness of this glue, but getting that needle back in gets harder by the year. Let me just say that about that. That is like threading a needle. My goodness. And the problem is you can't just say, oh, well, I'll do it later, because it'll foul your tip for sure, for sure. Okay, now I'm going to take my clear Wink Estella and brush my dragonflies, my vellum dragonflies. And we're going to give that just a half a second to dry. And while those are drying, I'm going to set them aside. I'll do the inside and maybe the envelope, just so that we can, you know, move it along just a little bit, so you're not sitting there going, what is she doing? Nothing is happening. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was sticking to me. It didn't want to unstick. Okay, now let's do the inside, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat my flower image. Very straightforward, and I will try to do the time efficiency thing right here, where I can... Oh, I see what you're saying, Julie. I'm going to try to do the efficiency thing and do my envelope at the same time, because that would prove to you how time efficient I am, right? You'd be like, oh my God, she is so efficient. I hope I can one day be as efficient as she is. You could. Trust me, it's not very hard. If I can be even a little efficient, you can be totally efficient. Totally efficient. Oh, gosh. Oh, dear. I can't get that open. Okay. There we go. I have a new Mossy Meadow ink pad, and it was a little sticky. Just a little sticky. Then we're going to go with my mint macaron again. Stamped off once. To create my flowers. Gotta get it lined up. Sorry if it's a little bit out of frame. It's really hard to see when it's out in front of you so far. Okay, but I got that. And then we'll just add this right here. Now I'll tell you, I did think it would be fun to add the little, you know, the little Dragonflies image from Dragonfly Garden. This one right here. And you could do that, but trust me when I tell you, you don't want to do it in Highland Heather. Even stamped off once Highland Heather. Just trust me on that, and don't waste your cardstock. It's not a good look. I'm just saying, not a good look. All right, so let's set that aside. Now I have one more sentiment that I'm going to stamp in the middle of this inner liner. And I love this combination of sentiments. So nice. And again, this is the Calypso Coral, which I do actually like with the Mossy Meadow and the Mint Macaron. It looks very nice. Now we'll mat this on its 3M, which is, of course, the Mint Macaron mat. I need to go change my blog post and use the 3M everywhere I say Mint Macaron. I'm going to go M2. And then when it's time for a Mint Macaron mat, I'll say M3, 3M. The 3Ms. Now I will put this on the inside of my card base with a little bit of more liquid glue. And then I'm going to pop my card front onto the front of the card, and then I will finish up with the dragonflies, because I'm going to show you a cool thing to do with your dragonflies. to make them look a little more real. So I've already made them a little shiny. Y'all know that dragonfly wings are a little shiny, right? I mean, they are when I see them by the pond. They look shiny to me. So I'm pretty certain that's God's version of Clear Wing of Stella. So not equating myself with God. Nobody give me any flames of, oh my gosh, she called herself God. No, I did not. No, I did not. Yay, Shirley. Hello. Thank you, Dee. Oh, the Queen Anne's lace, Karen. Yeah, it's so pretty. Like I said, it's kind of a flyover. People miss it. Now I'm going to put this right in the middle of my card base. See how fun those little polka dots are? I mean, they don't leap out at you by any stretch, but they're definitely there. You can see that there's something there. And by having the different shades, the depth of the color, you can really get some good depth. Okay, now let me show you what I'm going to do off screen, because I'm not going to pull my Big Shot over just to show this. I have the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder, and I'm going to put these into it with the vellum portion up. Now that's why you want to wait for them to dry. I'm going to run it through the the cutter right quick. I'll be right back. Right back I will be. Right back I will be. My husband has been watching The Mandalorian. And you know, I'm probably going to take flames for this too. I've tried to watch it. I just can't get into it. I think possibly because I didn't see it from the first episode. He was a couple episodes in, but now when I watch it, I'm like, this just isn't. Where's Han Solo? I want Han Solo, and I want the good people. Now that you have embossed these, see how that makes them look? Can you see it? Wait, let me see what you're seeing. There, see how that looks? Now I'm going to take it up even another little bit. I'm going to take my bone folder, and I'm just going to curl the wings like that. Okay, so I'll do that to all three. And then we're just going to adhere them with a little bit of liquid glue. And then I have one more thing to do to my card front, to my envelope, and we'll be doneski. We'll be so doneski, we won't know what to do. All right, so just a little liquid glue on the bodies. And we're going to, I like when I use like this, these little guys, I don't like them all going the same direction. Sometimes I'll even make them come down. I didn't on this one, but I could have. I surely could have. Then I'm going to adhere these right onto the card front with liquid glue. Now, of course, you could use any color for these. I think it would be very pretty with Misty Moonlight, but actually the Highland Heather is good. For me, that really kind of says Dragonfly. So let me put that aside. I'm going to pull out my envelope, and I thought about pulling out a Mossy Meadow DSP with some dots, but then I thought, why not just put some blendings on it? Some little blendings. Do a little blending on it, Mary. Okay. And this again is kind of random and not terribly important how it gets. It's just, you're just putting a little bit of interest on your envelope flap that kind of matches. There we go. I like it. I'll take it. Spotted envelopes for 5,000. Gosh, this needs to be, I need to get some finger strength apparently. This one's serious about being closed. I will stay moist and wet for you, Mary. And there we are. What do you think? You like it? I hope you like it. I think it's kind of fun. I love how these little dragonflies turned out with the embossed and shiny wings. They really turned out cool. The Potted Succulents die is awesome. Don't forget your adhesive sheets with it. It really does help. And then, of course, you have the beautiful Queen Anne's lace sentiment on the inside. All right, guys, I appreciate you giving me part of your weekend, and I hope you've had a good time. We'll see you on Thursday. Don't forget, tomorrow is the very, very, very last day of celebration. So if you've got things you were still looking for, tomorrow's the day to get those free things. And tomorrow is also the day to get 200 free sheets of DSP if you sign up. Let me know if I can help you. We'll see you on Thursday. Y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks. Bye-bye.